Hey everyone, welcome back to Gundam Breaker Build Guide. I'm you, Buster Green, your host of the show about which banners to buy in the game and which events to play after you buy those banners. Anyway, so this is the big week that everyone was expecting, and they waited a bit, but it was pretty much I was expecting them to drop all at once. So this week is surrounded by some of the most serious banner options the game has ever put out again, and I'm going to handle these all in order from best to worst this week, because once again, there's too much shit to go over and it's a lot to take in. So first up is my pick of the week. The best banner of this week is the Cherubim Gundam, the last episode version. For those of you aware, the Cherubim Gundam has been in this game for a bit, but this is a much stronger customized version with all of its weapons from the last episode of Gundam 00, where it's been fully decked out and it's the strongest possible version of the Cherubim Gundam. I still think it's weaker than the one from the movie, but that's beside the point. Anyway, the point is it's a new unit in the game, and on top of that, it comes with a decent step-up event where you get Mark Material Alpha. So if you just want to do the weekly missions this week and you want a brand new suit, this is the suit to go for. That's why it's my pick of the week. So yeah, it's a new suit. You can use it for all the weekly missions, and I'm giving it a 4-star rating only because it's not the strongest suit on the table this week. And on top of that, even though you can definitely get most of the parts easily through the step-up event, all the other banners this week have some sort of bullseye targeting for the parts you want. So that makes this one a little bit not as good as the others, but nonetheless, it is the most original suit you can get this week that will let you play the new missions. So that's why I like it. Now, rounding out second place after that is the Wing Zero Custom with Alteration banner. The legendary suit that everyone was waiting for, and now that it's here, who gives a shit? Now, you might be surprised that I'm giving this one a 4-star rating as well. Well, it has a few serious advantages, but also some disadvantages too, so it's not coming out perfect. Now, the banner has great odds. If you do this banner, you're going to get some parts. It also comes with free alteration tools, which is great. I ended up with a ton of them after this. And it has a bullseye targeter, so you can definitely get at least one part you want every couple of steps, so that's good. You should definitely try to max out the head or the wings. Now, on top of that, with the current game meta, the altered Wing Zero puts you in a pretty good place if you fully alter it like I did. Now, the head, the arms, the legs, and the backpack are among the best shooter parts in the game for those to be considered. So if you are building a shooter, head, arms, legs, backpack, you can't do no wrong. Now, the gun and the torso, unfortunately, just don't catch up, even after being altered. There's just been a lot of shit added to the game since Wing Zero came out, so it's been a little bit outclassed by Sananju Stein and some other stuff. And in an extremely annoying way, it also does nothing for the weekly missions, which means you still need to pull the Cherubim or the Unicorn if you want to play those weekly missions. Now, rounding out the week is the Power Perfect Unicorn. Now, on the good side of this, the banner has really great odds. And if you pull this banner, you can probably get the Unicorn. You can definitely do the weekly missions. And even if you don't get anything, it's got bullseye targeting, so you can pick whichever part you want after 5 pulls. Now, this thing is a powerhouse, and if you don't have the perfect Unicorn already, then this is maybe the best banner for you. But I have the perfect Unicorn, so that's why I went with the Cherubim. Now, unfortunately, this thing is a real head-scratcher after all that. I was really hoping beyond all hope that this would be our first 1/100 scale legendary suit, because a 1/100 scale Unicorn full armor, that would be huge, but I guess it's so huge that it breaks the game, so they didn't do it. Instead, we just get a shitty alternate attribute full armor Unicorn, which is really boring and uninspiring in the end. I did one pull on this just for fun and got a lot of parts randomly, so the rates seem to be pretty good, but other than that, it's just another Unicorn, which God knows this game has seen so many unicorns. Now, rounding out the week, we also have the Dengeki Wiki shot capsules. Now, I wasn't too keen on the Dengeki Wiki melee capsules, but I will give the shot capsules a slightly higher rating because unlike the melee section, this isn't the best banner, but it does have some hidden gems in here, like the Perfectibility Unicorn's head, a couple of parts of the Sananju Stein, and the full armor ZZ gun. Now, this banner doesn't have a ton of extras though, so it's just a 3-star rating for me. Now, the last banner of the week I'm going to touch on that they added this week is the Select Exclusive Capsules Part 2, which, like Part 1, is kind of trash. It's not as bad as a ripoff as the first week was, but it's still fully negative in terms of the odds you have. And you only get a guaranteed part after you do 5 pulls, which is the same as the other banners except for the Cherubim, but since the rates are so much worse on this banner, it's really not worth it, especially since almost all these suits are really old and obsolete in the game's metagame. Now, I will say it's a better spread than the first set, so that's why I'm giving it a slightly higher score. But you're taking a risk if you do this banner, so there are definitely better options this week, and this one's just completely overshadowed by all those good options on the table. Alright, so going through all those banners is done. Now, let's move on to the weekly suit. The weekly suit this week is the Zsa, the Double Zeta Xeon missile shooter thing. This is the Gundam Unicorn version of it, which is painted a boring Zaku green and has the fun sleeve arms. Now, I tried to repaint mine yellow so it looked like it did in the 80s. I did it quick, so it halfway failed, but hey, it looks alright. The Zsa is a pretty weird charity unit. Is it fun? Sure. Does it look unique? Hell yeah. Actually, it's got some of the most unique looking parts in the game. But is it any good? No, not really at all. It's one of the shittiest charity units they've ever thrown at us, and I'm kind of surprised it's even being included as a charity unit, because it's really more of a trash rank unit. I guess it has some cool EX skills that might make it stand out above the trash rank units, but it's really not good at any of the things it does, so it's just kind of there to be there. I know a lot of people are having some fun with it and making it turn into like a starfish and whatever, but I don't know, it's not impressive. Now, furthermore with the Zsa, I rocked it out, fully maxed it to 90, cleared the bingo, took it into the extreme scenario mission where it did pretty well. Now, all you really need to do to get this thing viable is subpart it with some decent parts. I think the extreme scenario missions are really curving down in terms of their difficulty, which is another disappointment to me, because, I mean, after the battle circuit died, I thought the extreme scenario missions would be challenging, but they aren't anymore. The battle circuit this week was another fast flyby. I rocked some unicorn astray, whatever. I got in one good round where I used the Hildorfer torso, which people thought was really impressive, so including that as my video of the week. But yeah, otherwise the battle circuit is still too easy and depressing, so just let down. I burned my way through it, barely did in time, and got a bunch of alteration tools, which I mostly used to max out the Altered Wing Zero. But yeah, that's it for this week. A lot of good banners. Definitely the Cherubim if you're doing the weekly missions, or the Wing Zero if you just want Wing Zero. But yeah, then all the missions in the game this week are just kind of easy. The Zsa sucks and it looks funny. The battle circuit's way too easy still. Before I go though, special shout out to my crew. My crew did so good this week that now my crew is somehow among the top 500 crews in the world. So we rock. If anyone wants to join my crew, just so you know, we kick out members periodically if anyone is idle for a week. Like if you don't log into the game for a week, I will kick you out as soon as I notice you doing that. So every time I kick someone out, there's an open slot for people to come in. Just play the game once a week. That's the only rule. Anyway, that was me, Moonbuster Green, rounding out a very expensive and not that interesting week in the game. Hopefully something new comes along soon, but we are rounding out all the suits in the game at this point, so we'll have to see what happens. Thanks for coming by. I'll see you next week. Later!